Welcome to our Mr. Hilarious channel. Get ready to feel the thrill with scary stories and mysteries that will get your heart racing. Don't forget to subscribe for more horror stories. In a newly renovated hospital, there is an old ward that holds a macabre story. Staff and patients often report mysterious experiences that inspire fear. They claim to often see the figure of a nurse dressed in a white uniform from the early 1900s walking around the ward. The nurse is said to be Margaret, a woman who worked hard during the Spanish flu epidemic. Tragically, Margaret died of exhaustion after contracting the disease from one of the patients she treated. According to some stories, Margaret not only appears in apparitions, but also gives people a strange sense of dread. Many people feel like they are being watched when they are in an empty hallway at night. It is not uncommon for staff to feel a tense atmosphere, as if someone is staring at them from the shadows. Margaret's presence seemed to keep her tied to the place, disturbing the tranquility of the supposedly modern hospital. A more sinister phenomenon are reports from staff working at night. They often hear heavy footsteps walking along empty corridors. The steps are clearly audible even when there is no one around. The sounds seem to come from an invisible figure, following their every step with increasing intensity. Some have even claimed to see the shadow of a nurse checking a patient's monitor before the figure simply disappears. These stories have become legendary among the hospital staff, and more people are curious about the story behind Margaret's apparition. Is she really a figure trapped in this world, or just an illusion created by the fatigue and tension in the old hospital? One thing is for sure, Margaret's presence continues to haunt every corner of the ward where she used to treat her patients in pain. One of the hospital's old surgical theaters has a reputation for being creepy. Now no longer in use, the room holds a dark story that is not easily forgotten. It is said that this room housed a surgeon, Dr. Harold, who was obsessed with his work. He spent countless hours in the operating room, often forgetting to eat and sleep. Uncontrollable tension and exhaustion eventually claimed his life, as Dr. Harold died suddenly in the operating room from a fatal heart attack. Since then, the room that once bore silent witness to his hard work is believed to be where Dr. Harold's spirit resides. Staff who have dared to enter this room have reported strange occurrences that are difficult to explain. They heard mysterious noises that seemed to come from surgical equipment, such as the clinking of scalpels or the scraping of other medical instruments. Some have also claimed to hear the sound of bed wheels moving on their own, even when no one is around. Another oddity that was equally frightening was the frequent and sudden flashing of lights. Electrical systems that had been checked and found to be fine could not explain this phenomenon. The lights would flash with increasing intensity, as if signaling that something was wrong in the room. In fact, some of the staff working at night felt the temperature suddenly drop dramatically, making the atmosphere even more tense. Stories of mystical happenings in the surgery room continue to circulate, adding to the unsolved mystery. Many believe that Dr. Harold is still bound to the operating room, unable to leave the place that has become his obsession, and the end of his life. For those who dare enter the room, the creepy stories only reinforce the notion that this room is truly haunted. Beneath this modern-looking hospital lies a basement that has a gruesome reputation among staff and medical students. Some people who have been forced to pass through the underground corridors claim to have had creepy experiences that are hard to explain. There is said to be an endless corridor that can make anyone who enters the space feel lost. Even though they keep walking, the expected exit is nowhere to be seen, and they get stuck in a circle that seems to have no end. One of the most famous stories comes from a medical student who once got lost in this corridor. He reportedly disappeared for hours without giving any news. When he was finally found, he had collapsed near the fire escape. Once conscious, the student revealed his terrifying experience. According to him, he kept seeing a moving black shadow blocking his every attempt to find a way out. The shadow seemed to follow his every step, coming closer and closer with a gripping sense of terror. Not only that, many say that strange noises are heard in the corridor, as if whispers or footsteps are following. Even if no one else is in sight, the sounds continue to echo in the silence of the dark basement. Some staff have even claimed to feel a sudden chill in the air when passing through the place, adding to the already strong sense of mystique. These creepy stories have become legendary among those who work and study at the hospital. Many believe that the underground corridor is connected to tragic events of the past, and curious spirits continue to haunt the place. For those who dare to walk through it, the sensation of being trapped in an endless space is like a test of mental and physical endurance, facing unspeakable fears.